Welcome. In this video, we're going to discuss how to create tables using your graphing calculator. In general, you really just need to enter your equation into the calculator. Typically, the scale I have found works out to be about right, usually at the default, which is starting at 0 and moving up by 1. But I will also teach you how to specify the starting value and the scale. So this warm-up problem is one you will do after the video, and you'll get credit for your participation grade. And I'm going to walk you through how to create this table using technology. So if we go here to y equals on our calculator, you're going to want to enter x, and the x's is found here. Don't hit alpha and then the letter x. You're better off just using this button right here, and that will pop an x right in there. And then we want to square it. You can use this to get an exponent and then type in a 2, or you can use the shortcut key here, which is just type in that squared button. Then we're going to want to hit plus, and then we have 2x minus 4. And then once we're done, let's go ahead and look at our table. And it's in blue, so we have to hit second table to take a look at the values. And if you notice, they start at 0 and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I can also go backwards here. Now I can change where to start my table, and I can change the scale. So if I want to change what my table looks like, I go here to table set. Say I want to know what the value of this function is at 1,000. I don't want to scroll down all the way to 1,000 starting at 0 or wherever I'm at. So I'm going to hit table start, 1, 1, 2, 3. And in fact, I want to know what's going to happen at 1,000.25. So 0.75. Let's say I want to know 1,000.75, the value. So I'm going to hit 0.75. And we should get some fairly large numbers in scientific notation here. So let's go second table and see what happens. And sure enough, we have scientific notation. But if you notice, we're going up by that really small amount. So let's do a little more realistic value. What if I want to know what this function looks like at, say, -5, and I want to move my table up by tenths? Then I'm going to go by by 0.01, 0.1. There it is. And that'll move my table up by tenths. And then I can go to my table, and suddenly I'm at -5, -4.9, -4.8. So I can see a lot more of what's happening, say, between -5 and -4, looking at my table in this manner. So let's look at part B. And if you notice, I didn't actually write down anything here. So hopefully you jotted down some notes on things we did, like second plus graph. Buttons to get to the table is one thing you should jot down. Also, second plus window button gives you table set to change what's going on in your table. So let's look at part B, and I'm going to move this all the way down so we can see part B and part C. So we're going to use the same function, but this time we want to start our table at -10, and we want our scale to be by 5. So this here is our starting value. And then whatever we're changing by here, this is +5, +5, this is also +5, and so on. It's all right. 5 is our scale. So now let's go ahead and hit second plus this window button to get to table set. So let's hit -10, and then I want my scale by 5s. And then I can hit the blue button, table, and there is my table. So at -10, I have 76. At -5, there is 11. The output value at 0 is -4, and I can highlight them by scrolling over to the right. At 5, I'm at 31. At 10, I'm 116. At 15, I have 251. At 20, 436. And at 25, 671. Okay, now let's try part C. So for part C, we want to use the calculator to make a table of this function here. So that's y equals x cubed divided by 2 minus x squared minus 5 that starts at 0 and counts by 2. So this is our start. And then plus, oops, I almost wrote plus 5, plus 2 is our scale. So let's go to y equals, and I'm going to leave our existing value here. I'm going to show you how you can have more than one function at a time. You could clear this by hitting the clear button and type again, or maybe I'm working on a test and jumping down from problem to problem, and I'm going to put this one on hold for a bit and come back to it. Then I would want to scroll down here, and under this second one, I'm going to type in x, and I can't type in squared because I want cubed, so I have to go here to my little hat. So x cubed, and then looks like I'm actually going to have to hit my right arrow to get out of that, and then I'm going to type in divided by 2. And then let's go ahead and hit minus x squared, and then minus 5. And if you're concerned about parentheses, just remember when we're looking at order of operations, this portion will definitely be done before this subtraction. So you're good. So now let's go second button in table set. And let's set our table to start at 0 and increase by 2. And now I'm going to hit the blue button and graph to get to my table. And if you notice, I have y1 and y2. Well, this one here is our y1. And this function here is our y2. So this is the one we're interested in right now. So let's look at the y2. So I'm going to scroll over to the right and just look at these values. So for x is 0, y is negative 5. When x equals 2, x equals negative 5. When x equals 4, since we're counting by 2's, we end up at 11. So please pause the video and take a moment and fill the remainder of this table. By now you should have paused your video and filled in the remainder of this table, and you should have values that look like this. And this was done using your graphing calculator. If your table values do not match up, take a moment and check that you entered this correctly. Also check that your scale is identical, and then just try again.